Hidden tragedies and scandals of Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. What was she hiding from the world? For years, the public image of Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, has been that of a poised, gracious royal, a steadfast companion to her husband, Prince Edward, and a devoted patron to numerous charitable causes. But behind the carefully curated facade, a much darker and more complex story has been quietly unfolding. Now, with the recent release of previously sealed royal archives, the truth about the Duchess' life is finally coming to light, a tale of profound personal tragedy, scandalous secrets, and a decades-long struggle to keep it all hidden from the prying eyes of the world. At the heart of this extraordinary revelation is the Duchess' firstborn child, a daughter named Louise, who was born in 2003 with a rare and debilitating genetic disorder. For years, the royal family had gone to great lengths to shield the little girl from public scrutiny, going so far as to restrict her public appearances and carefully stage-manage any media coverage. It was an unimaginable burden for Sophie to bear, reflects royal biographer Emilia Blackwood. Not only was she grappling with the challenges of raising a child with special needs, but she was also under immense pressure to maintain the family's carefully cultivated image of perfection. And the strain, it seems, took a heavy toll. According to the newly surfaced archives, the Duchess struggled with bouts of crippling depression and anxiety, often retreating from public life for extended periods of time to seek solace and respite. There were whispers, of course, about Sophie's fragile health and the demands of her royal duties, Blackwood explains. But the reality was far darker. She was barely holding it together, consumed by grief and the weight of keeping her daughter's condition a secret. But the Duchess' personal anguish was only the tip of the iceberg. The newly released documents also reveal a shocking scandal that had been buried for decades, a tragic event that would forever change the course of Sophie's life and the lives of those closest to her. It all began in the late 1990s, when the Duchess, then a young royal newlywed, was involved in a high-profile business venture that would ultimately come crashing down in a spectacular and public display of corporate fraud and mismanagement. Swept up in the ensuing legal and financial fallout, Sophie found herself at the center of a media firestorm, her reputation and standing within the royal family teetering on the brink of ruin. It was an absolute nightmare, Blackwood recounts. Not only was Sophie facing the very real possibility of criminal charges, but she was also terrified that the scandal would overshadow her husband's burgeoning political career and jeopardize the family's position within the monarchy. In a desperate bid to save face, the royal family mobilized its considerable resources, employing a team of high-powered lawyers and public relations experts to contain the damage and silence any potential whistleblowers. And for a time, it seemed to work. The scandal gradually faded from the public consciousness, and Sophie was able to regain her footing, eventually rising to become one of the most respected and influential members of the royal inner circle. But the weight of her secrets, it seems, never truly left her. According to the newly disclosed documents, the Duchess lived in constant fear of the truth resurfacing, haunted by the specter of her past indiscretions and the fragility of her daughter's health. It's a heartbreaking story, really, Blackwood reflects. Here was this woman, who by all outward appearances had it all, the title, the wealth, the respect of the nation. And yet, she was utterly consumed by the need to keep up appearances, to maintain the flawless facade that the public had come to expect of her. Now, with the veil of secrecy finally lifted, the world is left to grapple with the stark realities of Sophie's life, the tragedies, the scandals, the immense personal sacrifices that she was forced to make in order to preserve the integrity of the royal family. And in the process, a new, more complex and compelling portrait of the Duchess has emerged, one that challenges the carefully curated image that she has cultivated for so many years. In the end, Sophie's story is a testament to the incredible burden that comes with being a member of the royal family, Blackwood concludes. It's a reminder that even the most outwardly perfect lives can be hiding unimaginable pain and struggle. And it's a sobering lesson in the power of secrets, and the lengths that people will go to in order to keep them hidden.